Welcome back to this series on Rest Assured. In the previous video, we saw how we can get bookings from our REST API. And in this one, we're going to have a look at the creation of a booking. So according to the API documentation, we need to make a POST request to this endpoint, and that should add a new booking. So let's give it a try in Postman. So we copy the endpoint. Okay, we have there the endpoint. We make a post. So let's see, does it work if we do send? No. Okay, this gave us a 500 error. Whenever you have a 500 error, it means something went wrong on server side. So either you have sent something that the server wasn't expecting, or what you sent triggered triggered this response. So basically, it's basically the same thing. So what you sent triggered an unwanted or unexpected behavior on server side. Okay, but what did we do wrong here? Well, if we have a look at the example, it seems we not only need to call the endpoint, but we also need to provide it something. So we can copy this part here, and in Postman, we have here body, yeah, and go to raw. Instead of text, we put JSON. So let's see if now we are able to create a new request. So it seems status code 200. We have a new booking with booking ID 11. Let's make a GET request to see if there's a booking 11. So we actually can see the information. And let's have a look at getting all of the bookings. So if we would do just booking, okay, we should have an 11 here somewhere, and there it is. Okay, so now we have seen how we can do the post request in Postman, but before going actually into Rest Assured, or better said into IntelliJ, and showing how to do this in Rest Assured, let me show you a little trick. So in the create booking, as you can see, we have an example here for curl. So this basically, if you know how to read it, does the same thing as we did in a step-by-step way. It points the correct endpoint and also the content type and as well as the body. But if we're not sure exactly where to put what in Postman, for example, we can just copy this, and in Postman we should have an import here. Go to raw text, paste everything that we copied, make continue, import, and Postman creates the request for us. So it has the post, has the endpoint, it even has the body. To show you that it works, let's just change this one to have it a little bit different. We send it, and we have booking ID 29. And let's see if we have this 29 ID here. So it seems we have it. Perfect. Okay, so let's go and try to do the same thing in IntelliJ with Rest Assured. So as before, we will do a simple test to just show you how the post works. And while we progress, we will do more complex operations and we will mix gets, posts, puts, deletes. It's going to be a lot of fun, trust me. Okay, so let's create our test. Say public void create booking. Okie dokie. And we add our add test annotation for test ng. So for the get, it was kind of simple. We just needed to say get the endpoint and do stuff. For the post, we'll use a slightly different syntax. And it's basically, if you want to write some comments, is let's say given some setup, and by setup I mean an accepted header, a body type. Basically, we're saying when you call the post endpoint, you will get 200 response back. Okay, so let's go step by step here. We actually can start with the word given. So rest assured has this terminology that you might encounter in the BDD, so behavior-driven development with the given, when, then, but that's another story. So let's just go through our comments. So we have a given. So in here, we basically will tell it, okay, given our header and the body to a post. So like I said, given, and we're going to do header, and in the header, we're just going to copy what we have here. So we have content type equals application JSON. We can also see this in Postman. We have here headers, and if we scroll all the way down, we have content type application JSON. Okay, let's write this here as well. To content type and application JSON. Okay. So given that, let's just go one step down, make it sequential, and we have a body. And in the body, so we might be tempted to do actually the following, so to just go and just go and copy this. Let's try it. Why not? So we have the body. Let me just make it okay like this. And after the body, we want to do our post. And for the post, we just need the URL. And afterwards, see, IntelliJ tries to figure out what I want. And so basically, each time you put the dot, it kind of has an intelligent way of recommending you what are the next steps. Okay, and once we did this, we can actually say then, but let's put this here, then we get status code of 200. Okay, so let's run this. It's gone a little bit bigger. Okay, and it seems our operation was successful. But just to be certain, so let's have a look in Postman here. How can we identify that the operation was successful? Okay, on the one hand, you have the status code, which is perfect. So normally you would get a 200 or a 201. What's different from what we saw right now is we get the booking ID. So maybe what we can check is that besides, okay, let's just write it here. So, and you will, your response we'll have a booking ID property. Okay, so let's just add to this. Again, we put the dot and we had the response. And in order to do that, to add the response, we just make, actually we say and. Oops. And that our response is in the body, and we will check that the body has our booking ID. So let's say contain string, like we did in our get, and let's say booking ID. Okay, let's try this. And since our test passed, and if we change this booking ID to bookings or something else, yes, it failed. Perfect. Let's change it back to booking ID. So what we have seen in this video was how to create a post request for our API, or differently, how to create a booking. While it is functional, I personally do not like this approach here. I mean, it will basically hard coding elements or hard coding the body, which would mean if we want to add different bookings, in this way, it's kind of hard to make sure that we're adding the correct information. In a future video, we will have a look at a different approach of how we can actually make this body more customizable. Thank you for watching this video, and as always, subscribe if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.